Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we are back for another brand new video. Today's video we have a brand new prediction / team news video to discuss Rangers versus Motherwell. And just in case you missed yesterday's announcement video, I will also be involved in a brand new charity match June the 8th, 2 PM kickoff versus Falkirk coaches at Falkirk Stadium, hoping to raise as much money as possible. In last year's charity match we raised over £3,500 for the two charities, which was obviously Sam H and Steny Community Trust. This time we'll be raising once again for Sam H because mental health awareness is definitely something we all need to get behind, and obviously suicide prevention is a massive thing that Sam H actually does. It's a very, very good charity and also helping raising money for Falkirk Community Trust as well. But yeah, just wanted to mention at the start of today's video, just in case you hadn't seen the announcement, if you would like to buy your tickets, by the way, the link for that will be down in the description below. One comment that really cracked me up, by the way, in yesterday's video, someone went, "That's what that shirt's for. It's an actual charity shirt. I just thought you had a really big ego, so you had your name on the wall." But with that being said, let's actually get into today's video then, shall we? 3, 2, 1. Motherwell versus Rangers, 12:30 kickoff. It will be on this Sunday, obviously up at their ground. And if I'm honest with you, Motherwell at home are actually doing fantastic. They are one win away from breaking their all-time record in the top flight divisions. That's how good they are actually playing at home. And when I saw that stat, I was just like, oh no. You know what I mean? I just had a very good Wednesday, didn't want a bad Sunday. That's not to say Motherwell's in this all-conquering form. In fact, they are good at home. Again, they've won 5 in the bounce, one more away from a record. But away from home, they've been quite poor lately, and obviously that resulted in another loss a couple of days ago. And when you actually take a step back and you look at the stats between the two teams, it's frightening because Rangers are leading the majority. You know what I mean? Motherwell hasn't bet Rangers in 42 meetings, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, since 2002. That is when Big Butcher was in charge. The last game versus Motherwell at Ibrox was a massive 7-1 victory, and it was one of the best performances all season long. Then the international break came and we came back more soft. If you think about it, the international breaks / winter breaks have really left us there this year. You know what I mean? Every single time we build momentum and have a good result, everyone's on form. International break, winter break happens, we come back and we're slow to start. But let's put a pin in that and forget that just now because I don't even want to think about it, okay? One other important stat when you're actually looking at Rangers versus Motherwell, and more importantly, Rangers haven't lost back-to-back league away games since September 2018, way back earlier on in the season. So when you look at the stats and everything, it's certainly suggesting a Rangers win going into this game. Now, it's not going to be an easy one because Motherwell, as I've said, at home are absolutely fantastic. And you saw the last time we played at Motherwell's ground where Kyle Lafferty and Alfredo Morelos both started. By the way, we put 2 up top. We went after them. Kyle Lafferty had the best performance in a Rangers shirt since he's came back, scoring 2 very impressive goals. We made the silly mistake of making a substitution at a corner. Lee Wallace came on. Hey, Ross Watson. Yeah, they scored from the corner. And the game ended 3 each, so they've got that fight, they've got their bit in between their teeth at home, and obviously they're going to be going into this game wanting to break records. They will be heavily motivated to put their names in the Motherwell record books. I have no idea why I went Motherwell, because they are called Motherwell. I meant to go records, so... However, let's throw all the stats to one side and actually just look at Motherwell. Have they changed since the 7-1 pumping? Yes, they actually have. They've sort of tweaked their play style. They play with inverted wingers. They like to drift inside, then burst outside. You know what I mean? They're always moving, trying to get inside the fullback's head, so they're never ever comfortable, and that is where their main attacking outlet's going to come into this game. I personally believe their wingers are absolutely burning with form right now, and they will be attacking Tavernier and whoever is actually left back, and that is where we're actually going to start. And I'm going to ask you guys the first question of the episode. Who would you start at the left back position? Now, Halliday is back and eligible. However, John Flanagan put in a wonderful performance against Hearts, strong and authoritative, and he scared them to actually death. After 40 minutes, when he killed that guy and just took his lunch money, no one came near John Flanagan again. So do you put him back in there just to absolutely nail one of these wingers and see if they fancy playing up against him for 90 minutes? Or do you bring Halliday in, who has probably been the best left back all season long? It's an interesting one and I want to know your thoughts and opinions on it, so make sure you get involved in the comments section below. Now for Steven Gerrard's press conference ahead of Motherwell, let's recap that very briefly because they spent the majority of it talking about Alfredo Morelos, the old firm, and suspensions. That's right, once again they just waste time. Instead of asking questions about the upcoming game, they bother about stuff that's already in the frickin' past. It's so frustrating when the media does that, but let's slap that to one side and focus on one key point that Gerrard spoke about. It was the consistency of Rangers, or the lack of consistency, and it was good to actually see him address that head on, because I feel like we have that conversation nearly every single day. I'm sure you guys do with your friends, your family, whenever you speak to Rangers. I know I speak to my dad every week about it, and he always says the consistency of Rangers, we're never consistent, we can't do this, that is our problem all season long, we've gave them the title because we can't be consistent. And that was the first time I've seen Gerrard actually come out and properly have an honest conversation about the consistency of the Glasgow Rangers. That was my phone, yes it was. It was Simmy! That son of a bitch. Look at that. Look at them. It's Simmy and Snags. They've just sent me a Snapchat when I'm trying to film this video. I was filming my video there, dickheads. So now yous are going to be in it, because I'm going to show them you sent me that Snapchat. So now yous are going to be in it, because I'm going to show them you sent me that Snapchat while I'm recording my video. Inception. But back to the actual video now. The consistency talk from Gerrard was important, and it's clearly been an issue. But I found a very interesting stat, which may or may not be leading to us being inconsistent. Rangers by far beat every other team in the league for changes in the SPFL this season. Rangers have made 97 changes to the starting 11 since the start of the year. No wonder we can't find consistency. There's never a consistent team on the park. Granted, we've had European football, but even since that's ended, we're always chopping and changing, making weird changes. Remember that month, I think it was in November, where we just started flipping centre-backs and bringing this guy in, dropping this guy for no reason. Blah, 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 blah. It was madness. I think when we reflect back in the overall season, when we go into next year, we need to find a settled 11 that can play week in and week out, and I think that's going to improve the old consistency. So moving away from the press conference, and let's break down the injury and suspension list then, shall we? We obviously have two massive ones on the suspensions. We've got Ryan Kent, which is just an absolute dagger to the heart, and obviously Steven Gerrard will be missing from the dugout versus Motherwell. So how do you think that's going to actually impact the game? But you know what, every team's going to struggle without their star player, but when you actually look at things against Motherwell, we're without our star players. Two of them, Alfredo Morelos and Ryan Kent, the players of the season-esque, aren't actually playing in the game. This new formation that we tweaked and turned around versus Hearts was reliant on Kent's movement and freedom to create things. That is no longer there. Do we revert back to a more obvious formation and bring maybe Glenn Middleton back in from the cold, or maybe start Grezda? What do we do with Daniel Candeias, who's just been awful for 6 weeks? We look better without him on Wednesday. There's a lot of changes to be making, and that's one of the main things I'm going to be asking you guys to get involved in the comments. What are we going to do without Ryan Kent and Mr. Steven Gerrard? Do we revert back to the formation? Do we keep the new one? Let me know your thoughts and opinions about that. So while you're getting your thoughts out about that, let's move over to the injury list, because since Wednesday there's only been one fresh injury, and that's been from Mr. Joe Worrell, who jarred his knee during that sort of challenge with the Hearts player. Remember when he sort of kicked him off the ball? McGregor went absolutely mental. Worrell even lost his cool and was getting into the guy's face, clearly want to have a word. Gerrard has said it's nothing too serious, but there's obviously a wee problem there and is going to try and work out ahead of the game. So Joe Worrell might be rested for this game, which means Katic could come back. And the last two injuries, as always, is going to be Jamie Murphy and Mr. Graham Dorrans. So that's the injury list, the suspension list, the press conference, and obviously the stats and breakdown between the two teams. All done and dusted. All that's left is for me and thee to get your predictions down there. So while you get your predictions out there, I am going to fire in mine. Because we are without Ryan Kent, and I think we're going to be a severe lack of creativity without Kent. You go back to that time when he was injured previously in the season, you know what I mean, that month spell we were absolutely awful. 1-1, draws here, draw left, right and centre. Kent was badly missing. I'm not going to go with a high score line. I think you've got to respect Motherwell, especially the fact that they're chasing a record. So with everything being said in today's video, I am going to go with a channel favourite, Rangers 2, Motherwell 1, and I believe the both goal scorers on the Rangers side will be Mr. Jermaine Defoe, who will continue to take the chance that he's been given. Now before we jump over to chat and hear from the people, let's grab our refreshments. Everyone raise the glasses, cups, whatever you've got in front of you. Let's have a little sponsor break, shall we? 3, 2, 1, sponsor break! So to the people then, there's been 1,079 votes. Thank you so much for getting involved. There's still 8 minutes left to go. Motherwell gets 6% of the votes, 7% votes for a draw, but 86% of the people votes for a Rangers win. So let's see what they've actually had to say. Alfredo writes in, 2-0 to the famous, expecting a tough game, especially with Alfredo and Kent, but I reckon we'll win. Defoe to score both. Now that, if I'm honest with you, it was so close to what I was actually going to pick, but I just think Motherwell, scrappy from a corner, they'll get some. Rampant Ryan Jack writes in 3-2, Defoe to score 2 and a Tavernier penalty. Danny Taylor writes in 3-0 to the Rangers, mate. Looking forward to seeing wee Hasty play. Another dominant performance from the boys. Yeah, I didn't mention Hasty because when I mentioned Jordan Jones and I've mentioned players in the past, they always seem to score, so yeah, I'm being superstitious about that one. Stuart Ward writes in Rangers 2-1 with Defoe and Tavernier with the goals. Cairo Keane writes in 2-0. Moles writes in 3-0. I'm going to go with Jermaine Defoe, Tavernier and Arfield to score. Gary will show that he can control the decisions without Stevie, who will be, obviously, unfortunately, in the stands. And the last one we'll read out in today's video, just to make it fair, I'll go all the way up, all the way down, and we'll stop it right there. Comes from Dale Valentine. He writes in 6-4 to Rangers. Defoe hat-trick, Arfield double, Jack last goal, Hasty double, and a Worrell OG double. Now, if that happens, Dale, I'm pretty sure you've stole the sportsbook from Biff. That's what I'm starting to believe, Dale. Okay? I'm watching you, son. I'm watching you. But there you are, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You've heard from the people. You've heard from myself. If you haven't done so already, get your thoughts and opinions down there in the comment section below. And also, if you don't mind hitting the like button, that'd be absolutely tremendous as well. Shout out to the absolute legends on the Patreon's account for all your support and helping the channel continue to run as smoothly as it actually does. If you'd like to join the Patreons, again, that will be under the tickets and everything like that down in the description below. I've been CJ Over 92. Thanks so much for watching, and bye.